Rebel DJ Cleve on the beat. OG Stack. Working behind the tree lines, modern day moonshines. Make no mistake, we some noon to noon grinders. Find a way, get it done. It's iron at play, hit and run. Body twice, head once. Usually that'll get it done. But if it don't, lay low till the frogs think it's all good. Circle back to his mama house. I think her shit is all wood. And if that's the case, big dog, you already know the play. Send them boys some pictures from the burner and tell them any day they gon' have to show face. And these streets are on the front row. We sitting back patiently. I chill and watch the blunts roll. Smoke floating around this bitch like Mad Goose from the Flintstones. I'm having visions of body casts wrapped up in body bags, thrown in the ditch, been covered up with rat shit. Big ZD crazy as fuck. Yeah, I'm going bad shit. Once the switch flip, ain't no turning back the time, dog. You done fucked up. This is no longer just rhymes, dog. I want your breath to stop. I want your chest to pop. I wanna see your bitch ass niggas running off they block. We taking over now. You'll never get this back. To everybody listening, we is OG Stack.
Yeah, I heard some rah-rah when I stepped out, but now I'm here, dead silent. Who y'all talking about? It must have shook you when I came through. Stood here among you to show you what you can't do. Fact is, I've been doing this longer than you have had the breath of life. So listen close to what I say, cause I won't speak it twice. I hit the block to stack some paper, hit the kitchen, made some paper, hit the club with extra down to make some paper. And well aware of what your status like. If you a killer and I'm deaf, then what your status like? ZD call me MZ, make it hard to breathe, knowing when I speak on mics I snatch the souls of enemies. OG Stack.
ZD! Big Ben. Oh, El Dolo on the beat. Stainless steel dominoes, you know I'm about to lay him down. IT got that rapper weed, it's only right we blaze around. I keep my haters close and my enemies on speed dial. Bitch niggas run amok me, yet and still I gotta feed y'all. I'm first at the table, but the last to eat. SOP, fuck bitch, I get the largest piece. Any shorts coming down the line, we ain't having it. If you can't handle up on your business, then we'll manage it. You know what that mean? We bout to beat the brakes off your motherfucking ass. 5 shots to make them take off. Bake off, I keep them cakes like Lil Deborah. Laying up and pillow talking, oh, that's just irregular. That's how you get a whole dub for your mind drain. An ore drum, filled to the brim with your padre. Thought of that, your fight but fell short on his last test. The only thing that nigga got free was his last breath.
Better tell him don't freeze now. I'm playing chess, come through and knock the queen down. Screwed up in Houston, so I sipped a little lean. Wow, meanwhile my comp is missing like they name it June Time. Heaven on earth, I got some angels when the demons round. 100 round drunk will have them holy when they hit the ground. Squeeze them like a python until they can't make the sound. Show up to the service just to make sure that he in the ground. It's over now? Nah, he got some partners that was talking loud. Plus he got some brothers that I'm sure gonna try to move the crowd. Squeeze them out, so I can show them this ain't PG. I love to see them agonizing just because they hate me.
Real player shit's legit, no skid. Queso with the chips, I dip from whole shit. Preferably somewhere chilling by oceans. Drink with the umbrella in it, smoking. Some valley shit on in the zone, post it. Do say to the face, no chase, roast it. Relentlessly representing, really it's no shit. Cold shit, I hit a lick off the bitch for 4 bricks, then dip.
Now that's what I expected y'all to come through and do, man. They say that the rap game was dying out, but apparently we was missing coming out the trench.
Read it! Dolo, Big Ben. El Dolo on the beat. That's somebody. Yeah. Hopping out the 2-4.
Coming out the trench.
Read it! Dolo, Big Ben. El Dolo on the beat. That's somebody. Yeah. Hopping out the 2-4, C7 Wheezy. This shit really hard, I just make it look easy. My game slow fishing, float like a butterfly, stretch like inches. I hear a lot of talk, but ain't too many from the trenches. 4-step hard, lost 60, now he swole up. Them hoes used to pass me by, now they like, hold up. Truck black wax, look like a bag of fruit oil. Texas edition leather, remember you a 2-star.
What's happening? First of all, this episode of Musically Zone Talks Boxing comes to you by the way of HWX handcrafted candles. Their motto is to relax and enjoy. Block Fam, which started on Marlowe's Corner, and Track Titans, who provides us with our beats. Now, back to how we was going. We're going to get started off with coming out the trenches, talking about Abdullah Mason, Devin Haney, David Benavidez, and Bam Rodriguez, all pulling victories in their fights over the weekend. And I want to be one of the first to admit on my channel and aloud or broadly that I was wrong about Devin Haney. But he did all the things that I said he needed to do to win. I just didn't believe he'd do them. And with that being said, I'm going to hit with coming out the trenches, and we'll dive into it. Coming out the trenches.
Read it! Dolo, Big Ben. El Dolo on the beat. That's somebody. Yeah. Hopping out the 2-4, C7 Wheezy. This shit really hard, I just make it look easy. My game slow fishing, float like a butterfly, stretch like inches. I hear a lot of talk, but ain't too many from the trenches. 4-step hard, lost 60, now he swole up. Them hoes used to pass me by, now they like, hold up. Truck black wax, look like a bag of fruit oil. Texas edition leather, remember you a 2-star. Shit, I got 2 cars that I ain't even drove yet. You might use one, come through and spray your whole set. No bet, so be taking on the way out. I'ma win either way, so I'ma let it play out. Gon' bring them K's out, let them hoes blaze out. If you really real, go and close them niggas' days out. You can't sit back and let it linger, cause if you do my ninja, they gon' snatch you like a zinger.
Coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trenches.
Better get their ass some braille if they claiming they can't see. They don't really need their eyes when they focusing on them Z. Blow a blunt and sip a fifth about it. Have them straight up sick about it. Sitting on the throne waiting for them to come click about it. Treat them like the ashes on the blunt, gon' flick them out. He wanted to go hard to come through and straight trick them out it. Pistol talking, damn Z, gon' make me handy. They talking too much, please let me show them they some pansies. Raised by some killers, so killer talk don't move me. Just saying, then squeeze a new scene from a movie. Make their brains hang from the things that I will bring. Started at the bottom, now I'm standing on the top, man.
Coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trench.
They said, MZ, take another lap. I'm like, okay, let's go. When everything is going right, expect a quick left, bro. I've seen a lot of souls get sold before the cash roll. I tried to warn them about it, but they always tell me hush, bro. It seems they forgot. Yeah, I moved in them streets. Yeah, I stood on the cuts, and I always had heat. And I stood up in the kitchen, whipped it up so I can change. When I went away to college to put an edge on this thing.
Coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trenches. I see the family lining up and we falling up into the place. Give me one more second. We're going to come on and do this like we're supposed to.
Zit it! Big Ben. Oh, El Dolo on the beat. Yo, stainless steel dominoes. You know I'm about to lay him down. IT got that rapper beat. It's only right we place around. I keep my haters close and my enemies on speed dial. Bitch niggas run amok, but yet it's still I gotta feed y'all. I'm first at the table, but the last to eat. SOP, fuck bitch, I get the largest piece. Any shorts coming down the line, we ain't having it. If you can't handle up on your business, then we'll manage it. You know what that means? We bout to beat the brakes off your motherfucking ass. 5 shots to make them take off. Bake off, I keep them cakes like Lil Deborah. Laying up and pillow talking, oh, that's just a regular. That's how you get a whole dub for your madre and an oil drum. Feel to the brim with your padre. Fought a valiant fight but fell short on his last test. The only thing that nigga got free was his last breath.
Better tell him don't freeze now. I'm playing chess. Come through and knock the queen down. Screwed up in Houston, so I sipped a little lean. Wow. Meanwhile, my comp is missing like they name it June Time. Heaven on earth, I got some angels when the beam is round. 100-round drums will have them holy when they hit the ground. Squeeze them like a python until they can't make a sound. Show up to the service just to make sure that he in the ground. It's over now? Nah, he got some partners that was talking loud. Plus he got some brothers that I'm sure gonna try to move the crowd. Squeeze them out, so I can show them this ain't PG. I love to see them agonizing just because they hate me.
Real player shit's legit, no skid. Queso with the chips, I dip from whole shit. Preferably somewhere chilling by oceans. Drink with the umbrella in it, smoking. Some valid shit on in the zone, post it. Do say to the face, no chase, roast it. Relentlessly representing, really it's no shit. Cold shit, I hit a lick off the bitch for 4 bricks, then dip.
Now that's what I expected y'all to come through and do, man. They said that the rap game was dying out, but apparently we was missing some of the hard hitters like. Well, we're gonna get into it. It was some good fights. Now, I want to touch on the youngster first, Abdullah Mason, with Sam Noakes, who was quite awkward and tough. He was tough as nails. Don't want to say, oh, he kept pressure on Abdullah. He was catching Abdullah with some things. And I know it's going to be said that he was getting hit too much, getting caught too much. But as a youngster, he handled his business. He kept his resolve. He kept his cool about himself. And he fought through, pulled out a victory. Headbutt, had blood going all over the place. But for the far part, you know, he fought a tough man in Sam Noakes. And he was able to scrap through the victory. I won't say that it hurt his stock. I'll say that it was a good learning experience for him. It showed that he got the grit and determination to fight on and fight through no matter how tough the competition is. And he proved himself well, in my opinion. So I got to take my hat off and give a salute to Abdullah Mason, youngest champ right now in the boxing world, youngest champ. So hats off to Abdullah Mason for handling his business and doing what he did. But that boy from San Antonio, Texas, Benavidez, went out there and fought, and I can't even remember the cat's name he was fighting with, but old boy was awkward in the mug. He was falling in, and he was hitting Bam and getting some good shots in on Bam. But as Bam was going through the fight and he started figuring things out, with a beautiful knockout stoppage. Yes, Bam Rodriguez represented for Texas all the way around. I almost said H-Town. Y'all almost heard me slip and say H-Town, which would have been a slip. I used to live there. Miss my people. But I'm in SA now. San Antonio, Texas. And that boy Bam Rodriguez did his thing. Got that win. Moving right along. Competition stepped up. It was a good, like I said, it was a good aqua fight. Hard man coming out the gate. He was just like, you know, he looked like he was falling back, and then he come back in with a punch and fall forward with some stuff. Just frankly speaking, since I'm in the South, throwed off. He was throwed off with the way he was throwing punches and stuff. But bam, he kept his cool, putting those angles on him. I love to see that boy when he stepped to the side and whoo, that's just so pretty. Pretty. The sweet science, yes. That boy did his thing. He said Bam Rodriguez catching all the tough fades, unlike Virgins. Right after the gate, Hyphy come in with that. Man, let me go ahead and say, what's up? What's up, everybody that has joined me tonight? Kane, Napoleon Armstrong, Hyphy, and whoever else is in the back that haven't spoken, said anything yet. But Bam did his thing, man. That man, that's just pretty when he stepped to the side, like I said, and catch that angle and put that work in. Yes, old boy was trying to bring some pressure to him, but Bam was on his defense well enough where he didn't get all bruised up and knotted. Abdullah Mason did have some knots and stuff, but like I said, he took some punches and he showed some resolve. And he made it happen in youngest champ. Bam Rodriguez. Oh, man, I like that dude, man. I like watching that young man fight. It's pretty to see him put on those angles and everything. I just want to keep seeing him go up that ladder and do his thing against as the competition presents itself like it did the other night. Yeah, he's gonna be doing this thing for a minute, I think. It's in a way. Just throw it out there. Not to just throw it, but throw it. Anyway, so that's Bam, that's Abdullah. Who else is there? Benavidez and Anthony Yard. Yard just didn't seem like he could. I don't know. He didn't seem like he was the game plan, whatever game plan he had, it didn't present itself within the fight. It seemed like he was hesitant to let his hands go. David Benavidez just kept coming at him and getting him up against the ropes and getting the tee off on him. Y'all got in maybe a punch or two every once in a while. Something when he did decide to let go, but for the most part, his hands wasn't coming out. When they did come out, it was too late because we was round six when David Benavidez started really separating himself in that fight and just systematically broke Yard down. Made the referee call it off. Stop it. Just you don't want no more. Yard did not seem like a prime 34-year-old or 30-year-old. He didn't seem prime or nothing. He just didn't seem like he can keep up. He just got beat up. That's the best I can say for Anthony Yard. But the fight that I have to touch and speak on, I have to, because I had spoke my feelings about the fact that, hey, I just didn't think Devin Haney was going to be able to move around the ring, and I thought Brian Norman Jr. was going to be able to cut the ring off. I thought they had put a game plan together. And even if they did put the game plan together, he could not execute it. Brian Norman Jr. could not, did not, would not, couldn't figure out how to execute a game plan against Devin Haney. And I know those words right there ring loud from me because, I said I didn't think Devin Haney would be able to move around, use the jab. I thought he would hold. He did a little holding, but he made Brian Norman have to resort to holding. His punches looked a little sharper than one would expect. He stood in the pocket at times, something that I didn't expect. He did not get on that bicycle, that swing, whatever motor two-wheel transportational vehicle you choose to call. He didn't use it. He showed some defense. He showed some grit. He showed the heart. We knew he had the heart. I guess it was the grit that I was looking for and stuff like that. The last fight that he had, I believe this fight, he was able to erase that totally. He went out there and made Brian Norman Jr. look slow. Brian wasn't getting behind the jab. Devin was the quicker jab. And I mean, Devin was sticking him with a good, nice, solid jab. And he was able to work Norman throughout the whole fight. So, yeah, YouTube streets, I was wrong. Quick to admit it. Have no problem with saying it. You know, he did his thing. He deboed Brian Norman Jr. But he catch him with it first. That he caught him with a left that stumbled the man, walked up on him and caught a nice right between the guard. He squares it right up in there. Brian was trying to protect on the sides and got right up in there. La D is in the building. What's going on? Sitting here going on about Mr. Devin Haney, who deboed Brian Norman Jr. The fight did go to the end. Brian Norman, I'll give you that. A lot of people tried to say, oh, Brian was a bum or something like that, you know, something crazy. I'm not gonna take away the man's, you know, what people he was tough and he was a pig before Devin went out there and beat him, so he's still a pig. You know, Devin beat a good youngster. Now he know exactly what he needs to go and work on, and I mean work on it, so that type of thing don't happen to him again. The next time he fight a fighter with Devin dimensions. I mean, he was not able to accomplish anything in the fight. Anything. Now, we'll admit, when the fight first started, you know, it looked to me like Devin had some nervous energy the way he was moving. But then once he settled down, he actually looked like he came to fight and take care of his business. Yeah, he did look fast. He looked fast. He did look fast. That's what I'm saying. He looked fast enough to make Brian Norman look slow. He had Brian Norman winging his punches. All he had to do was take some slight moves, steps back, stayed out of range. Used his jab, dropped the 1-2 on him nicely. He dropped him with a nice, pretty quick. That left was quick. I didn't even realize it. All you heard was the little thump. And that boy did the little, I don't want to really call it a full dance, but he did something that let the world know that hurt. He stuck that boy. Then followed it up, like I said, got that right through there. And he went out there and gave Norman something to think about early, which is something that we always call for when fighters getting ready to fight a so-called tough fighter. We always say you got to get out there and give them something to make them respect you early. Well, I think the second round was nice and early. I think the second round was Rod X is in the building, coming in saying what's up to his people, which is the family up in here. But yeah, Devin gave him something to think about. And by him giving him something to think about, he was able to go ahead and in my opinion, if that was the plan that they used, executed, and he executed it well. Staying out of range. So, you know, they can hit their bragging point about Devin can get hit when he want to and not. Because for the most part in the fight, he kept Norman at bay. Norman couldn't get to him. And when he did get to him, he smothered himself. He smothered himself, which made it easy for Devin to to grapple. And when Devin grappled, he used that free arm and he put work in. I mean, he worked throughout the whole fight, actually. He gave a check box to pretty much everything that I complained and fussed about, that I was saying I hope he worked on. I feel like he withstood the storm. Took a couple of punches that you know. I was like, okay, he's still there. He didn't get wobbled. He bit down on his shield and did his thing. He actually went out there and did his thing. He made Brian Norman Jr. look like there was levels. In the case of Brian Norman versus Devin Haney was able to prove that Brian Norman, in his words, was the C-level fighter, and he was levels above him because he was able to prove that against Brian Norman the other night. And graciously, I seen Brian Norman's dad come on. I seen Norman come on and give they props like he said he would. But I was gonna come in and say, hey, Devin did his thing. He did the things that I said I didn't know if he had worked on. I didn't know if he was shown. He showed everything. Everything that I complained about. And sure, people that I guess the Debo nickname for this fight surely stuck. He Debo'd Brian Norman Jr. At times when they was trying to toss each other around, it looked like Devin was getting the better of that. He pretty much got the better of every aspect of the fight once the bell rang. Except for the first round, because he didn't throw any punches. You know, he was just moving back. Brian Norman was putting in punches, trying to put in punches, not really doing anything with the punches that he was throwing because he was throwing from too far. In my opinion, he was lunging sometime. And he just seemed 2-3 beats behind. Lala said that wasn't a Debo to her. Not quite. A Debo was Benavidez yard. Well, Benavidez did bring a lot of pressure on yard, but you got to give Devin, you know, I have to give it a Debo against, oh man, I got to give it a Debo against Brian Norman Jr. for the simple reason Brian Norman Jr. had such a sweet knockout a year, knockout a decade, you know, their crew, their team, so like to say. And, you know, the talk, the build up, the damn near saying Brian Norman was a cheat because he wouldn't take the drug test, all these things that mixed in, yeah. When Brian Norman Jr. went out there and couldn't do anything, that's a smooth Debo. The smooth Debo. David Benavidez went out there and just gave yard more than what he could handle. Yard would look like another fighter who, in my opinion, he was just 2 steps behind. 2 steps behind and a whole bunch of punches. Getting up against the rope when he was not needed to be up against the rope at certain times. Letting himself get bagged up. I don't know what kind of beautiful sparring that he do in the gym, if he do any. Because last time I heard he didn't do any sparring. He went out there and just let David put it all on him. Devin waited till everybody left 147. Now he can rule. Probably undisputed. If that was a plan, then may they work it out. I don't know. I can't say. You know, they have mentioned, what Devin did mention that his dad said he should have been in 147 a minute ago. But Devin said it was things he had to do that was important at 135 and 140. So the move up would have had to have waited like it did. But, you know, I see where you could be coming from with that. Napoleon, I do see where you can be coming from with that. Like trying to be all cool. Those comments drag yard like crazy. They were so disappointed in him. Maybe he don't have it no more. No, I don't know. I don't know what to say, except I figured that if he didn't do something devastating to David in the first half of the round, by the time he got to I thought round 7.5 rounds left, he would start getting tired because of the muscles sucking up all the oxygen. It happened sooner. It started about round 6. Our brother Trey X called it what happened around 6, and from there he just did his thing. The police said, I like Dev, but I peeped that. I feel you. You feel like he waited till a lot of the smoke was gone, and now he's gonna go up there and do his thing. And if so, power to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if that's the game plan that they got laid out, and it can smoothly be navigated, then power to him. Well, see, he tore his little English butt up. Man, David Benavidez was working in the clinch. I mean, what he hit y'all with 14 punches in a row when they was up against the rope, just yeah. Just, I mean, dang, it's just a jackhammer up, pop, 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 what you call the game? The paddle ball that used to be on a rubber band, you hitting it and it keep bouncing back. He was knocking his head, just knocking it. And y'all just couldn't give anything back. Nothing. And that's not to the fault of David Benavidez. Well, I guess it is his fault because maybe he had to slow down on some of the punches, or maybe not throw as many punches, y'all might have been able to at least punch him on the arm or something real hard. I don't know what to say about it. He didn't show up. Or maybe it was a night that the guys that are trying to be the stars and be big in boxing, maybe it was just a night and everything was aligned in a way that they were just so good that they made their competition look bad. Because people were saying David Benavidez hadn't knocked out nobody. He hadn't stopped nobody at 175, and then bam, he get a stoppage on Anthony Yard. And beat him up convincingly enough to say, I didn't just get this stoppage in. I peppered him up all night. Just kept bringing it to him. The pressure just coming at him until he gave. Till the referee had to slide in and save the day. Maybe Kovalev and Benavidez did something to him. Maybe it took something out of him. We just ain't recognize it. We don't see him as much as the people over there. So I don't know. Maybe they were hoping. I don't know. I'm just saying. Those were some good fights that he took some losses in. I was looking at him to do better because I felt like maybe, he picked up something, some good tidbits from losing to 2 good fighters. If you want to say Kovalev was old, you can, but Benavidez doing this thing right now. And so I don't know how to put it except he lost, and I figured he would lose, but not like that. But then again, I had a thought that maybe y'all could make. That's what I was saying. He could probably make it to the last bell because of the fight with Kovalev and Benavidez. I thought he had probably pulled some things together and finally got into jail. Not to win, but jail enough to get to the end. But that didn't happen. I didn't think he was going to outbox Benavidez. And, I only way I really saw him to win was to stop Benavidez. And if he was going to stop Benavidez, it would have had to be, in my opinion, 1-6. 1-7, because at 7.5, I figured he was going to start getting tired. Then David Benavidez would turn it around, do what he do, win the fight. But he got stopped, which he didn't have to go through all other stuff that I was thinking that would have to take place for it to even be what it was. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes I talk too fast about it. But David Benavidez did his thing. He needs to go to cruising and stop draining down so much. You think he a heavyweight? The Kane did. I did see him throw up a post that said, "Who I can't remember the person that said it. Felt like he can go." Oh, Jim Lampley. Jim Lampley said that he feel like Benavidez could go to heavyweight and beat Usyk. I had never even thought about that, but now you saying that he a heavyweight and he should stop draining down so much, go ahead to cruiserweight or whatever, you know. And then Lampley saying that, and you just saying that, it's something to think about. It's something to think about. It's something to ponder upon. It's a good thought. It would give him a chance if he was to look at it and take that advice. It would put him in a spot where he can become undisputed. Beating Usyk would be like that would be a scalp that's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And that's ridiculous. Buddy 147 versus Haney. What? Okay, you already no. Haney and Bud. I think Bud would beat up Haney with no problem. None at all. Let's just run La La D to even float that out there. Like that there. Threw me off. Who was I? Benavidez heavyweight. Yeah, I could think of that. And what I was saying was, Usyk's scalp. That come on now, that's some bragging rights, and to get a chance to become the heavyweight champion, not light heavyweight or cruiserweight or 168 pounder. You're talking about the belt of the belts, the weight class of weight classes. If you the champ there, you pretty much the champ. As far as the world concerned, you come on. That's the heavyweight. That's it. I can see if they can get enough people get a wave behind it. I can see that fight getting negotiated or talked about. I can see it being tempting enough to David Benavidez to even try to take a bite at that apple. At one point, if he was 300 pounds, you better hope he can get a good paydays. Fights the cruiserweight, heavyweight. Well, the fact that he was that big and he's grown from the small fat kid, he's grown, but I think what we see from him working out and working is what we get. If that makes sense. You know how you see some cats that go to the gym and you like, it's working, but it ain't working. It's working, but it ain't giving you the muscles that you would expect would come from lifting weights and working out and getting lean. He just get lean, but it's not showing maybe the way you expect it to show. I think he's showing enough discipline and character about himself right now to we get what we get and it works for him. But I think he can keep that 300 pound. I think he can keep that little 300 pound ghost away. I don't think it'll come back unless he retire and he get old. He'll probably blow up then. But I don't think while he's fighting, I don't think he's gonna let himself get to a point like that. But he did handle his business against that boy Yard. Yard didn't bring anything to the fight. Nothing. Not a wrench, a screwdriver, some pliers, the tape measure. He didn't bring nothing out of his tool bag. Nothing. Nothing. I don't even know if did he even bring his tool bag. went out there and gave no show about anything. If I had to give fighters that showed their opponents up the best, Devin and no, Bam first, cause that knockout Bam got was just sweet. That knockout was sweet. Sweet. Bam represented. Fought a good fight. I know I just jumped straight to Bam, but I was gonna say the people who made they I kind of got away from myself for a minute, started daydreaming about Bam knocked it. Calm down. The people who showed off the best was Bam because of the knockout, then Benavidez, then Devin. I think Devin, some people gonna fight it, but he answered some questions for folks. Now I know some people gonna say, "Oh, it was Brian Norman Jr." They gonna do that. They can't help it. That's what they're gonna do, and I can't do that because if he was high on the conversation of what he could do to Devin before what happened to him, then he should still be on that conversation. And I'm gonna say that he needs to work. I see my boy Eric. Oh, Salute family must be talking about Devin Debo Haney and Bill. If he dies, Haney. That boy be coming up with some good stuff. Got my boy Decatur. Well, Haney cheated. Has joined the show. How you doing, sir? What's going on?
What's happening, brother?
What's happening? Haney cheated. How did he cheat? What happened? Talk to
No, I'm just talking shit, man. But
me. Did he cheat when he threw that 1-2 and caught? I mean, not 1-2 when he threw that hook and counted Norman and stumbled him, or when he
yeah,
came
man, that shit.
between that punt, caught him between his peekaboo guard and just dropped him.
Yeah, that shit was fake, man. It was fake. It didn't really happen.
Man, Devin went out there and proved himself. He in my opinion, you got to say he shut up a lot of the doubters. They can't say he can't do it anymore because he did it. He showed the not so pillow hands, and he showed some power, some knockdown power. And I think Trey say Boychuk. What's the dude name? Boychuk had dropped Norman a few times. So, Devin did drop him. He stunned him and then dropped him. So he answered that. He answered not running. He answered being tough inside the okay. He also showed being tough on the inside because he ripped some great body shots while they was on the inside. He fought, like I said earlier, he fought throughout the whole fight, except in the first round where he was seeming a little jittery and things like that. But once the nervous energy seemed to have left him, he put it down. See, my sources told me the man who shall remain nameless left Debo a 3.5 year a 3.5 year supply of snack. Wow. I don't know about man, that's 2 shots. Eric hot. He coming in hot. So I don't know, man. I don't know what your sources know, but sound like to me you saying that Dev got some snack packs hid somewhere that we don't know about. And I ain't willing to say that because I can't say that. Oh man, my brother from another mother and father, the man who can call a frog from a well, the man who said I should have stuck with my first mind, but I didn't, and I knew better. Trey X in the building. What's up, man?
Salute to everybody in the chat. What's up to my nigga the King? Yeah, man, I'm sitting over here with this damn I had an angel on my left shoulder and the devil on my right shoulder. I saw it was Tuesday and I knew you was going live. I was like, man, the angel was telling me hey, you need to go ahead and just stay at the crib and just do a live stream with your boy MZ. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the fights and shit. And the devil was like, nigga, go ahead and go up the street to the poker game in the next town over and go get you a couple of dollars, then come back. And I succumbed to the pressure, went down there in standstill traffic on the motherfucking highway. And did nobody come because this is Thanksgiving time. People spending time with their families. Ain't nobody being degenerates and shit. So I went down there for nothing. So I just got back to the house, man. I said I'm gonna jump on with my boy, man. What's going down?
I'm just giving Dev his props. He did all the things that I said I didn't believe he could do or would do. Didn't say he couldn't do them. I said I don't believe he would do them, but he did them. Went out there and showed he had a little snap in his punches. Was countering, being tough on the inside, just fighting the whole fight, except for the first round, where it seemed like he was jittery. But once he got over that, it was on for him.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a classic fill out round. And then he took over after that. Went out there, put them hands on them boy. That was your classic study long, study wrong type of situations, man. All I had to do was just go with what I was thinking, and that would have been 10 points on the Champ Ross. So I went out there and sacrificed that and the PAC, picked all correctly. So I fucked over to 20 points on that shit. You know what I'm saying? What it is. Devin Haney did a good job, man. He went out there and conducted himself very well. It looked like the moment was big for Brian Norman because I was looking at his facial expressions and shit. He looked like a fish out of water. Like this was a big stage. He ain't never had to do all these interviews and be under these bright lights before. And that shit looked like it got to him to me. But salute to Devin Haney, man. He went out there and handled his business. I was comparing it to when God, what's the name of the Latino fighter that beat Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran? I was comparing it to Roberto Duran when he lost to Sugar Ray Leonard, no mas. Then he went up to 154, fought Davey Moore, and he got all his support back. You know what I'm saying? They started having parades for him and shit when he went home again. You know what I'm saying? So Devin Haney lost a little bit of steam against Ryan, went to 147, beat Brian Norman Jr., got his mojo back, man. Salute to him.
Yeah, salute to him. I'm just waiting to see. I haven't seen. Well, I ain't seen nothing. I did see the fights, but that's all I saw. I ain't seen no B or saying anything like that. Haven't watched anybody's videos. I'm just coming straight direct. Man, Abdullah Mason. He was in a tough fight, and I feel like, oh wait, DeCane came back. I thought he was gonna say something. Go ahead, DeCane. My bad.
Yeah, my bad, man. I couldn't get my audio right. It wasn't coming through the right speaker and everything. You was on speakerphone. That's why I had to leave and get everything correct.
Oh, I got you.
But yeah, man, about that Haney fight, man. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with you. I was listening to Matthew Fouts, and he can't stand Haney, right? So he always talking about how Haney is gonna duck below the waist like Mayweather used to do, which is illegal in boxing because it makes it where it's no legal punch that you can land on somebody, right? So Devin the duck below the waist and then he'll grab you around your waist, which all of that is technically supposed to be illegal. So he had picked against Haney. He always pick against Haney though. But I was riding with my guy B Norman because I was watching this training footage of him. And he was like doing these little quick foot drills. So my logic was he's gonna come in the fight and he's gonna be up on Haney and he's gonna make him fight. Because I feel like that's the only way you really gonna beat Haney other than like catching him with some Ryan Garcia hooks. But ain't nobody really ever made Haney fight because it's hard to do. Because one thing I said about Haney in the beginning of his career is that I usually don't say people are running in fights because I don't like that terminology. But he was the only fighter who I ever watched and said he literally be running in fights. Like he does not want to engage. He's running from his opponent. So that's why it's hard to make Haney fight. So like people, earlier you said he was standing in the pocket, right?
He did stand in there a couple of times.
Yeah, you say he was standing in the pocket. I don't agree with that. I thought Haney was always like just out of range, and he was waiting on Norman to make a move, and so he could capitalize on his mistakes. Like that's what he did the whole fight. He was moving backwards. I feel like if Norman had a made him fight, then he would have ran. But Norman didn't make him fight. So I mean that was disappointing to me, and the fact that Norman wouldn't just I don't know, he wouldn't go for broke. He was trying to box Haney, which is just dumb because Haney a
He
better
could.
boxer than you.
I agree with you on that. I felt like he should have brought the fight more too. I was under the impression that they had worked on a game plan to cut the ring off. That didn't. He
Yeah.
didn't execute that. You know, if that was the
Yeah, I
plan, he
mean,
didn't execute it at all.
yeah, he didn't go in there looking like a dude who was like, I'm not gonna lose this fight. Like he didn't look like he had a winner's mentality to me. It's just like I'm trying to do this, and if this don't work, then damn, man, I just lost the fight. Like a winner don't go into no fight like that. If that shit ain't working, then we gotta go for broke. We gotta try something else. You know, he wasn't.
Now,
He didn't look like he was there to win to me.
now I'm gonna go ahead and attribute to a point that Trey made about the lights being bright, because you know we do speak about the lights being bright, and maybe this moment was one of those, was a stage that was big. He in Riyadh, you know how they do it over there. They put on the show and all that kind of good stuff, and you know they got eyes watching you. This where the money at right now. You at the dance, and maybe it was just too big for him this time. Maybe he can fight his way back and correct the flaws that ailed him in this fight, and he can show back up. He young. He is young. And
Yeah, he's 25.
yeah, so you know he got time. He got time. He just got beat by a better fighter that night. Devin was better all the way around. I
The
thought
Kane,
that. Go ahead, bro.
the Kane saying he's staying out of range, just out of range. It sounds like Devin did what he said he was gonna do. He's staying out of range so you can overcommit, and if you violate, I'm gonna demonstrate. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing about Devin Haney, he was a prodigy when he was young. Like I used to watch his fights like 11, 12 years ago. Not his fights, but his sparring sessions against Lydell Rhodes and all them guys. He was 14, 15 years old, putting hands on them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like to look at a guy's background. Like, who are you? And Brian Norman ain't never had that. As a matter of fact, that Boca Chica fight, man, I could never let that go. Because like I remember last time, like Napoleon was talking about Sam Noakes, and he said he never moved his head. Well, shit, Brian Norman don't move his head. He keep his head in the sun line. That's why he getting hit with check hooks and all that type of shit. Haney got the head snapping back with the jab and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, he could have went for broke, but he also could have got stopped like that too. Overcommitting. Haney done already showed that he can hurt him. He can hurt him with a single shot. He hit him with that left hook, that check hook. That was a single shot and had him buckling his knees. Then he stepped in with like a 3-2 combination or maybe like a 3-short-4 combination and dropped him. So he know he can be hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I think he was just on some self-preservation shit a little bit. You know, he was kind of in over his head, to be honest with you. And after the fight, he was fucked up, lumped up. So even if Haney wasn't just standing in the pocket, he was putting some shots on Norman. And Norman would lump the fuck up after that fight. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it was a different class of fighters, man. We got one guy that was a prodigy going up against a workman warrior type of fighter. And me personally, I don't like taking warriors over classy fighters, but I did do it though. You know, I studied long, I studied wrong. I went on ahead and took Brian Norman Jr. because I thought I saw something in the face off and all of that old stupid shit. But I wasn't too surprised though, man. Devin Haney went out there and made it look kind of easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My man was supposed to represent for the ATL, man, for Decatur, you know. That shit let me down.
Yeah,
We got High
Georgia against
King.
California is tough though, brother. That's tough.
He said, "What up?" Should
Nigga,
have listened to
I live
Trey
in
X.
California.
My
Yeah.
bad. I'm reading this real quick. He said, "What up?" Should have listened to Trey X. He told us that you make it out the doghouse, you are at least a 3.5. Speaking on Devin Haney.
Now he a bona fide 3.5 though with his accomplishments though. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker was a multiple-time national champion. He just won in the junior ranks. He wasn't winning senior because he turned pro instead of fighting that shit when he was 17. But as a youngster, like the silver gloves and all that shit, he was dominating that shit. So, yeah, get the bona fide 3.5.
He said, Brian Norman Sr. looked like my Eagles offensive coordinator in the second half of Junior's corner. I don't know how the offensive coordinator looked, but if it was sad like Brian, I can't say he was looking sad. Oh, I don't know what did the coordinator look like? Was he sad?
He got their ass whooped by them Cowboys. They was up 21-0 and let them boys walk them down.
For real?
Yeah, them Cowboys came back and took care of them Eagles, man, 24-21.
Wow.
Scored 24 unanswered points.
Oh, okay. Who the Cowboys got? Not that I would know if you told me. Are they good? Because I heard, the Eagles, I know that from what I understand, the Eagles are good.
They good, but they not as good as they were last year. And the Cowboys, they're not a very good team, but they have showed up in some big moments this year. But they also done been underachievers in some games this year, you know what I'm saying? But they got some new players. Like they got this defensive lineman from the Jets. And that seemed to have improved the defensive line. Odigi Zua doing this thing. Plus, we just got this guy, Overshown. We got him back from injury. He flying around making plays and shit. So the Cowboys, they only like 5-5-1, so they ain't no great team, but they do look like they improving. You know what I'm saying? But they went out there and took care of them Eagles, man. Going into the game, Dak Prescott was 21-2 against division opponents at home. So he ain't never just no easy win against no division opponents. You know what I'm saying? If only CeeDee Lamb would catch the motherfucking football, we would have swept them Eagles this year. But it is what it is. We'll take the split.
Okay. He said, well, fist of a feather are thrown together. Eric came in hot and smoking. What's up, Hyphy? D-Lo's in the building.
Salute.
Hey, well, first of all, just to make sure we correct, them niggas is not from California, bro. Them bitch ass niggas is from Henderson, Nevada. I was just in Oakland yesterday. Don't nobody know who the Haney is. So, that's like I was just in Oakland yesterday. Nobody seen them niggas. I didn't see them niggas.
That's close enough, though. How long do it take to go from Oakland to Las Vegas?
Shit, that you could be. Hey, them niggas got private jets and stuff. How come they didn't pull up?
Answer my question though. How close is Las Vegas to Oakland, California?
It's like an 8-hour drive, but them niggas got private jets, so less than an hour.
Okay, I ain't know it was that far away, but shit, still close enough. Nevada and California, shit, they neighbors, huh?
Nah, them niggas is from like a whole different area, bro. And Cali niggas, man, nothing like no Vegas niggas. Them niggas from Henderson, where it's nice and sunny, palm trees and shit. You feel me? So,
yeah.
Anyways, I just feel like, maybe like things would have been different if, Senior was like maybe like not so arrogant, because it's like all types of clips going around where he talking about Devin don't got no power and like he can't do like this and that, and it just seemed like he was underestimating him. So he probably set his son up from failure from the jump because of that.
Yeah, I did see some arrogance from his son too. Like when Haney was talking about dropping, he talking about with what? You ain't got nothing in them gloves, brother. So he was, and then so he underestimating his power. Then at the same time, like, bro, you done already been dropped multiple times in the fight. So I think he was underestimating his power and overestimating his own chin. Like, you done already been dropped. Like, how are you talking so big when you done been dropped in fights? Well, and I ain't talking about with combinations. I'm talking about single shots, right hand on the chin, you going down. So shit, we got to question your chin.
Yeah, and this thing, like I said, he doing all these types of interviews and all that stuff coming back to bite him. And then like Bill and them was saying, like, nigga, they got to Saudi Arabia and they had already sparred before Brian and his son had even got there. So, it's starting to look like them niggas got outcoached. Like them niggas got beat almost in every aspect from the jump. And it's like, you know, bro, from like the first time when the nigga put his hands on Devin, and it's like them niggas didn't have no security to do nothing with him. That nigga yoked up Brian and, you know, put his hands up on him and shit, ripped his shirt. Them niggas lost that altercation. And then it's like them niggas got to Saudi Arabia later. It's like them niggas just like one step behind the whole time. So it seemed like it was some bad game planning from the dad. And it's like too much arrogance on his side.
When did they get over there?
They got over there like about like 2 weeks, but Devin and them had him beat like a week ahead. And they were saying, we already over here sparring, y'all still in America.
Yeah.
He did make that. He did make that point in the video. They were both on there at the same time. I'm trying to remember where I was watching it at.
We actually talked about that when we were watching the fights, though. Like, was he able to acclimate to the time difference? Because that motherfucker looked like he was sleepwalking coming to the ring and shit. I'm like, man, this don't look like the same guy. I don't see all that confidence and shit written all over his face like I've been seeing. He ain't got that gleam in his eye. He ain't got the eye of the tiger like I've been seeing. You know what I'm saying? I thought that might have been part of it, man. When you ain't got a lot of international experience, because I think he's only fought outside the country once, and that was against Sasaki. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus he ain't been under them bright lights and shit a lot. I just thought it was a experience gap when it comes to those type of intangibles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. D'Lo says supposedly Devin landed 6 punches per round and Norman landed about 3 per round or so.
I don't know if I saw that shit. I thought the fight was pretty entertaining, to be honest. And the way that Norman was looking after the fight, shit, that looked like more than 6 around. Shit, he put that jab on that motherfucker. He put the hook on him. That was a major thing I noticed. His lead hand, he had that lead hand, not dominance. What's the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Like, he had an educated lead hand. He was able to control the man with the lead hand, control him with the jab, control him with the check hook. It wasn't a lot of right hands. It was a lot of lead hand activity that he was beating Norman with. And I just think that just come from experience and shit, man. It come from his background. Yeah, I just think he was just too much for Brian Norman.
Well,
Yeah, the way Norman was fighting had me wondering if they studied Devin Haney at all. It looked like they had never seen that man fight to be trying to fight him the way they were trying to fight him.
He an inside fighter. Why are you standing at the mid-range with this guy, man? You know he got long arms. He got a good jab. And I know we saw his jab get countered and all that type of shit about Ryan, but that don't take away from the fact that his jab has some value to it. It ain't just no useless weapon. He can snap your head back with that fucking jab. That's one of his best punches. It might be his best punch. And you standing at the mid-range, nigga, you need to be trying to get on the inside on this motherfucker and work.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like they had no plan for how to get inside. It's like no game plan. Like what was going on?
it's a possibility that they thought that they were so much better than Devin that he could just go out there and beat him.
They might not have the knowledge, though,
babe,
man. Like, where is they guaranteed knowledge coming from? Where is they sage of boxing that just got this well of experience and knowledge to bestow upon a young fighter? You know what I'm saying? Like, his dad was a cool little fighter. He had a cool little record, but he don't come across like, you know, what's the mayor of Philadelphia that was training against training Sweet Pea Whitaker? George Benton. He ain't no George Benton out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you, and I was thinking that maybe he just relying too heavily on the knowledge that he think he has from boxing because he was a boxer. Maybe he needs some help.
Yeah, sometimes you take your son as far as you can take him, man. Then you got to go ahead and pass the baton to somebody that's more qualified. I know that they like getting paid. They want to get that 10% or whatever they're getting paid as a trainer, but man, you got to think about what's best for your son, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a real basic type of style to me. That's why I was saying, like, I think Devin will be more comfortable in front of this. This is what you see. You see a guy that's strong and athletic and shit, standing straight up. He orthodox, ain't really doing nothing special. And then I'm looking at the way he throwing punches when he fought against Santee, and them punches look like a weight room puncher to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a mistake if they doing that type of training. They might say that they don't lift weights, but when I look at that boy, he looked like he been in the weight room to me. And not just his body, I'm talking about the way he throw punches. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know weight room is kind of good. Pacquiao used the weight room. Terrence Crawford used the weight room, but they mainly use it for the lower body. To me, it looked like he been in the weight room training upper body. And I just didn't. My first thought was, I don't know if that's good enough to beat a free flowing guy like Devin.
Well, it wasn't. You're right. It didn't prove to be. He didn't have the footwork that I was looking for that I thought he would bring. He didn't have
That's what really disappointed me. That footwork, like the lack of footwork. You just standing there, man.
right and plotting. He just followed. He pretty much was just following Devin,
But that's the way
lunging
he
in,
fight, though,
trying to
right?
get him. Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna say the boy trash. I'm gonna agree and say that maybe it's time that maybe they should try to get some help from an experienced trainer, somebody who studies the game seriously. Just who when you tap them, they bleed a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah. Plus, out of them two fighters, man, I only heard about one of them taking a one-sided ass whooping and sparring, and that was Brian Norman Jr. when he sparred against Boots. Somebody else that got fast feet and shit. I think he just got slow feet, man. Some people just like that, got them heavy ass feet. It ain't really too much you can do about it. It's genetics. You know what I'm saying? But hey, maybe hopefully he'll come back with something because I do think he's good for boxing. You know what I'm saying? I like his personality and shit. And he seemed like a, hard-nosed type of fighter. He got back in the fight a little bit. He won some rounds. The scorecards was 115 to 113, which I don't know why they didn't take the credit for the knockdown. But he had a couple of 115, 113 scores, if I'm not mistaken. So he won a couple of rounds and got back in the fight.
Eric Ross say we going through something right now. Offensive line been effed up all year, and the offensive coordinator been trash. Dang, he made at the Eagles like that. I didn't think you would ever be. Hyphy came in and evicted the Haneys. He said all the impossible catches CD has made. Drop a few, they castrate you.
No, it's not dropping a few. He consistently dropping passes. Yeah, he dropped several big passes against the Eagles in the first game. That cost him the whole game. And then he dropped the easy one this past Sunday. He dropped the pass early in the game, and then he dropped one in the end zone. And it wasn't even a long pass. It was like a fucking 10-yard pass, and you dropping the ball, and it hit you right in your bread basket. You one of the highest paid players on the team, man. We don't need you dropping the motherfucking passes. And now you got Pickens over there. See, that's what's getting me, because you wasn't dropping them like that until Pickens got here. So what you feeling the pressure? Because you got a motherfucker on the other side of the field that's playing like he might be the best wide receiver in football this year. And now you got that motherfucker doing that. Now you dropping passes. Are you getting nervous? Is his presence getting to you? No, I don't like that shit, nigga. Catch the football and let's win these games.
Did you say he was dropping like end zone passes?
Yeah,
Like could be
he dropped
touchdown?
the easy one, man. We could have, either one of us could have caught that pass that he dropped in the end zone in the fourth quarter this past weekend. A Pop Warner kid could have caught that pass, and he was on the sideline being kicking himself in the ass, and he should have been. You got to catch that, bro. Ain't no excuse for not catching that ball. Now the first game he dropped some long passes, so you need to catch them, but I can kind of understand. But you dropping a 10-yard pass for a touchdown, brother? Catch the fucking football, man. I'm not trying to hear it.
Wow. Eric Law say that was my fault. That was my fault. Senior probably been reading a lot of my comments on Devin's punching power before the fight. I take full responsibility for my actions.
Hey, but we talking about Devin Power. His power has been going up as he goes up in weight. And he has shown some instances where he might got more power than we give him credit for, like when he stopped Antonio Moran in the fourth round when he broke his jaw and shit. That's a tough fighter, man, that's been going the distance for the most part. And he got stopped by Devin. He was out there dropping Rougarou. I know that he been dropped since then, but when we first saw it go down, that was against Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? And that was at 140. Now he moving up to 147. He dropping motherfuckers again. So I think he got a little bit more power than they give him credit for.
Okay. Whatever he had, it put Brian, it wobbled Brian on me enough where he can walk up to him and send a nice shot through the guard. He was able to do that for sure. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Decay. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, check out his documentary that he dropped on YouTube.
Man, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing, learned some things.
Man, as soon as I came home and I saw the message, I just closed my door. I didn't even say hi to my son when I got home from work yesterday, and threw it on and went from beginning to end. I enjoyed that more. More people should watch it. I shared it. I'm gonna share it again. He said, "Tank told you hard head asses, head on the swivel." I think I think I think that the situation could have been too big. Going back to everything, Hyphy said how they got there late, which they did get there late because they was arguing on that podcast back and forth. And he did mention that we over here sparring and y'all still over there. I do remember him saying that. So acclamation could have taken the part, but I'm not gonna say that. What I'm gonna say is to Hyphy's points, what he was trying to say is that they just seem ill prepared from the start to finish. And maybe it's because the moment was too big, not just for the son, but for the dad as well. And it cost them. There can be no excuses made for them. I can't give them not one piece of an excuse to try to even contemplate one. I will not, because they had ample time to be ready. They spoke as if they were ready. They played every part of being ready except being ready. And they went over there and they lost. So I noticed D-Lo had put a comment down somewhere lower where it says Norman for years looking like one of those sparring legends like Andy Lee and others until he turned the corner. He is young enough to get some better coaching and improve. I think he can. I think he can still handle his business and move up. I won't even take that from him. I said that right out the gate. He's young enough to be back in those lights and to have learned from all that he just went through in taking this L. He got his belt took. Damn, got your belt took.
I think this one of them fights. Well, we got to get back to the basics, and we got to use our eyes or whatever kind of rationale that we have instead of what we believe and shit. Like I heard you say a lot. You say, I believe that Brian Norman gonna do this. I believe that Brian Norman gonna do that. My boy D-Lo said, well, I believe Devin best years was at 135 and his prime was down there and he might be on the decline. My boy Napoleon talking about shit. I believe that the gig is up for Devin and all this type of shit. We got to start looking at what's really taking place. Like I remember when Earl Spence Jr. when he fought against Terrence Crawford and Joseph Brown, Judge Joe Brown was talking about how he saw that Terrence Crawford was working on countering the jab from Earl Spence. It wasn't no I believe type shit. It was what I'm seeing in training and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we need to be leaning on. And I ain't saying I'm perfect. I be wrong all the time. But I think that's what we need to hang our hat on. What we actually see instead of what we believe and all of that type of shit. Cause that really ain't worth a fuck.
Yeah, we didn't get to see shit from Devin.
What you mean with this man done been undisputed? He
no, not that. I'm talking about like when I was looking at the fights to take place, I was like, dang, I haven't seen no footage of Devin except for him hitting the pad and the dude in the bag. That was all I seen of him. I hadn't got no whiff to see if he was working on the jab. If he was all the things that I was saying, is he working on it? I don't know. Haven't seen anything about it. But he
To me,
showed
it
that.
wasn't on Devin to prove shit. It was on Brian Norman Jr. to prove that he can beat Devin. It wasn't on Devin to prove that he working on shit to beat Brian Norman. Devin was the superior fighter coming into this situation. He's the prodigy. Brian Norman Jr. looked like a cornerback or something. It was up to him to prove that he can beat this man. They got the perfect body for boxing. Look at this man frame. These long arms and shit. And he still got a little bit of muscle definition with his shit. He got a more streamlined body. He'd have been a prodigy in the ring with pros at 14 years old. He the one that came up in the doghouse. He the one that's going against Tank Davis with the money on the line and all this kind of shit, doghouse rules and all of that. That's him. The other guy from Atlanta, he the one that needs to prove that he can win. So you looking at that shit backwards, man. You need to be looking for what Brian Norman Jr. can do.
Miss Atlanta.
I'm just saying that's not a boxing hotbed, man. It ain't.
Hey, and let me get in on that. Like, that's another thing too. And even Brian Sr., he said the reason they had started going up to Philly was because you can't get no good work in Atlanta. And another thing too, like for this camp, all of Brian Norman's sparring partners, like that was leaked who he was sparring with. And no disrespect to certain dudes, but he was sparring with like Tay Jones and other people. And it's like Devin and his dad, they looking at them like, all these dudes he's sparring with can't even like hold a candle to me. So that was another thing too. Like you know, like they like Bill said, this dude learned his boxing in the garage, whereas my son learned it going around the world, and it looked like that.
Yep, and I done seen it personally where fighters say, well shit, man, we about to head out and get on the road, man, and go get some work. You know what I'm saying? That's why I get that shit that I'm talking about. How like this, like Texas. Texas is not a boxing hotbed. They got some good fighters that come out of Texas every now and then. But if you look at the density, I guess like the white folks say per capita, it ain't as dense as some places. So they say, shit, man, we about to ride out to California and go get some work in and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I would assume that it would be the same thing in Georgia. If you want some good work, man, you probably gonna have to go out of town, go up to Philly, go up to New York, go to Baltimore, or wherever the case may be, and go get you some work. Just like them UK guys be coming over here and getting that work in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to travel to go get that work. And Devin Haney, he done lived through this shit. That's how his early boxing career was. So I just need to see if Brian Norman Jr. was gonna be able to overcome that shit. I'm still kicking myself for picking this motherfucker going against my my better judgment, but you know it is what it is. Players fuck up.
Yeah, I feel you. They do. They do. And speaking of going to Philly, that boy Eric Law said, well, it could have been worse. The Normans could have taken the Boots fight.
That was a stoppage. That was a
Waiting to
stoppage
happen.
on the way.
Didn't you say he was taking the ass whooping from Boots and sparring already?
And that's why I said they sparred several times. He said the first time he basically got his ass kicked. And then he came back in some other sparring sessions and made him more competitive. But it's still on the table for you to get your ass whooped. And if you listen to Jerron Ennis, it was a one-sided beating. You know what I'm saying? I don't know to disagree with that. Like I ain't seen it, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if it was a one-sided beating he put on that boy.
Especially
Man,
if he
from what we
already.
saw Saturday, I mean that ain't hard to believe. Shit.
Yeah.
Man, Atlanta.
Hey, but speaking of, you know, sparring, you know, that is like kind of what was said as far as that. But they did say that he whipped on GTD though in sparring, if that count.
He whooped on little old bitty Tank Davis in sparring.
Hell yeah, something that you know, DHP couldn't do. That might be a thing too. That, you know, they looking at how GTD had Haney hanging on for dear life in comparison to what they did to GTD. That might have been something that worked against them too.
You know, I wouldn't be too surprised though, because Devin's main weapon is the jab. And if you're going against a short southpaw, it ain't gonna be as effective sometimes as opposed to, I mean, compared to you fighting against an orthodox fighter. You know what I'm saying? Brian Norman Jr. ain't got a dominant jab like that. He good with leading off with the right hand and coming back with the hook and all that shit. That's why he fucks Santillan up. So sometimes guys just have a style that's better for southpaws. So if both of them had some ring experience with Tank Davis, I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Norman Jr. might have had a better showing because he got a style that's better for a southpaw. But there was some other fights that took
overall,
place
man,
this
I
weekend.
think.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think Devin. It looked like from this fight, Devin realized he can stay out of range without running. Like he can run without running. Cause for the most part, to me, it looked like he tried to fight Norman the way that Bud fought Canelo, where it's like I'm gonna back up, but I ain't just gonna be on no bicycle. But the only reason I disagreed with the fact that he stood in the pocket was that, like, when you watch Bud fighting Canelo, he actually did step to Canelo and trade with him a few times. I don't think Haney got that in him. Haney is not gonna stand there and trade with nobody, especially if they got power. So
Well, I
I
actually
mean,
saw him trade hook for hook, though,
he's
right?
storming up. What you mean they hooked it at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just gonna stand there and they both throwing punches at the same time. Like you're not gonna see Haney do that.
I disagree, man. One of the best moments that I ever seen Haney have is when he was on the zone and he had fought this guy that had 120 amateur fights. Fuck, I can't think of his name. He got an upset on Champ Ross not that
That
long ago.
Fredo Santiago.
No, it wasn't Santiago, man. If I pull it up on the box rec on my other device, I'll give you the name and shit, man. But he a decent fighter. He a Latino fighter though. Um, but he had this moment where his opponent threw the right hand. Devin Haney rolled the right hand, came back with the right uppercut, brought back the left hook and dropped. It might be Alfredo Santiago. It might,
No,
you
I
might
don't
be
think he
right about
dropped
that.
Santiago.
Well, this guy, he had rolled the right hand, came right back with the right uppercut, and brought back the left hook. I had actually posted that off in Discord a while back for one of his other fights, and I was trying to demonstrate that he actually does have the guts to stand in the path of danger so he can counter a guy. Like, he ain't a guy that just got to be out of range and shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was kind of getting a bad rap for that. The only fight that I thought he just straight ran was against Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? The other fights, I thought he was out there boxing. So I give him a little bit more credit than most people give him in that regard. Like, if I look at Shakur Stevenson against Edwin De Los Santos, to me, that's running. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that feeling when I had saw Devin Haney fight. But I think you're right, though. I think Alfredo Santiago might be the name.
Okay, yeah, he
And
did fight. Oh yeah, he did. He did drop him in round 5, so you might be right. Yeah.
and just for quick
I
reference,
don't even remember him dropping Santiago.
for quick reference, Trey just mentioned that fight, Shakur versus Edwin. That's the fight that bankrupt Marlo's corner. They ain't been live since.
Damn.
Yeah, that did leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth and shit. I'm sitting off in there having to call that shit. That was a difficult one right there. I ain't gonna even lie to you. yeah, Santiago is the guy that I'm thinking about for sure.
Oh, okay.
But there was some other fights that went down though, man, that we could talk about. I know you probably already went over them. I just wanted to kind of just throw my thoughts out there on the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Bring it up.
Well, Anthony Yard. Well, yeah, you touched on Anthony Yard. I don't know what the hell he was out there doing. He was trying to box, and you mentioned that sequence where Benavidez hit him with like 14 punches, which I really don't understand why Yard was sitting there holding that man so he could punch him. Like, I'm gonna hold you so you can punch me. Yeah, that's weird.
No, I actually don't fault him too much for that because those type of punches, like, you're not getting no body weight behind them. You're not getting no leverage. It seems like you're using more energy than you are doing damage. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking at those as bang for your buck punches. And he was just kind of just holding the phone and just letting them get that shit off. Now, it don't look good for the judges. But as far as the damage that you're taking, I don't think those are damaging punches. I think they look better than what they are. They kind of remind me of those punches that De La Hoya was landing on Mayweather when he was holding with one arm and he was just getting off them short little punches with the other arm. It looked good, but it's not damaging. You know what I'm saying? But his whole approach to the fight, though, it looked like he out there boxing or sparring, and it looked like Benavidez is fighting. That's why I always say, man, make it look like fighting, even if it don't look pretty. Make it look like fighting. And his style just don't look like fighting, man. It's too passive and shit. He's settling against the ropes and doing all this bullshit. You're a big, strong guy. You got a big punch. He don't act like it. I think he just needs to go and get out the way and just retire. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion.
I mean,
Or fight domestic guys.
he gave a better performance against Benavidez than he did against Benavidez. Like he actually hit Benavidez. I mean, Benavidez with some shit. Like I don't know what he was just backing up, just circling. Like man, why you
Okay, but
got
let
all
me
the
ask you this.
muscles
Let me
for
ask
that?
you this. Every single time he steps up to that level, that elite level, he get his ass stopped for the most part. Do you think he still has confidence that he can go up there and rumble with the motherfuckers and get a win? Or just, going through the Kovalev and going through the Benavidez, do you think some doubt might have set in?
I mean, look, it may have, but if you gonna get stopped anyway, then you might as well fight. Shit, they'll be on your bicycle and get stopped.
You're gonna
Yeah,
get
that's true.
stopped anyway. You might as well.
Does he have a world-class trainer?
I don't think
I
so.
mean, I doubt it. I don't know who else tune they even train, so yeah, probably not.
And then he only had 12 amateur fights. He was 11 and with 12-0 with 11 knockouts. So he ain't have a lot of experience coming into the game, and he has a style that's made for experienced fighters. If you a novice type motherfucker, you out there trying to do the Philly shell and all this kind of shit, you kind of setting yourself up for failure out the gate. Now he do got some talent, natural talent. He a natural, you know what I'm saying? So he was able to hang in there with some guys, make a good account of himself and all that kind of stuff. But I do think that his style just wasn't made for a novice type guy. And I think that's why he, had that series of fights with that one guy that beat him, that light puncher.
Lyndon Arthur.
What's his name?
Lyndon Arthur.
Yeah, Lyndon Arthur.
Lyndon Arthur.
Yeah, I think that's the type of
Yeah.
guy he should have been making short work of him, you know what I'm saying? But you out there fighting a series with a motherfucker like Lyndon Arthur. Like, come on, man.
Inexperience.
In a series.
Inexperience. So Dale said he was gonna make it look easy. Senior said he needs no help, so that's that. Well, if he's saying that, it's good. Okay, I read that already. So the Packers, he say so. Pickens is the Cowboys' #1 receiver.
Well, in
That's right.
performance, yeah, in performance, but not in practice though, because the quarterback Prescott, he's still trying to force the ball to CD and all that kind of shit. But I'm seeing when the rubber meets the road, he looking for Pickens. And Pickens going up over 2-3 niggas coming down with the ball. He in a contract year and shit, you know what I'm saying? He trying to get paid. So he out there motivated and he out there playing some good football, man. He just a hard-nosed type guy. So as far as the fans going shit and what we seeing him being really the #1 guy. But in practice, we still see a lot of balls being forced to CD Lamb. You know what I'm saying? And this is a thing too. Like I done seen in the past where one guy that's the #2 receiver, he'll take advantage of the matchups he get because the #1 receiver is getting double teamed and all that shit. We saw that with Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown. Schuster was going to the Pro Bowl because Antonio Brown getting double teamed and shit. But this year, we saw CD Lamb out with an injury. Pickens was the #1 receiver and still shined on the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he should be the #1 receiver in theory and in practice.
Wow, there you have it. Speaking of Devin's power, D'Lo said, I used to say for years that he suspected that Devin was leaving a great percent of his power on the scales at 135.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like the bigger he get, the more power he hitting with, huh?
Huh.
I mean, a nigga getting healthy. Like hell, you saw he fought Loma. He looked like a giant in there next to that little dude.
Yeah. And
Did you say he
Brian
getting
Norman
healthy?
Jr., he didn't present them same type of challenges as Lomachenko. It's kind of like Canelo, with Crawford fighting Canelo being compared to Madrimov. Like Madrimov, he do all that erky jerk fainting and all that kind of shit. Canelo was more settled down. So people were saying, well, he had trouble with Madrimov. How you gonna beat Canelo? Well, Canelo don't present the same type of problems as Madrimov. You know what I'm saying? So like in this fight, they were saying, well, Devin, he struggled with Lomachenko, and a lot of people thought that he lost the fight. Cause I remember even you at first you came and gave him some props and shit. Then you came back and were like, man, I watched that fight again, man. I think Lomachenko beat the motherfucker. I'm not saying you was using this against him. I'm saying other people have. So I'm like, man, you can't really use that against him because Norman don't have nowhere near the type of style that Lomachenko got. A southpaw with all these feints and shit. He's cerebral as hell, been fighting around the world, whooping all kind of ass. And this is not Brian Norman. Brian Norman is more standard, what you used to. Orthodox guy, average size, got some pretty good power, got some pretty good athleticism, but nothing off the charts. This is more what we used to.
Well, see that to your point, like Devin Haney, they say okay, he went up to 140. Oh my God, he won a title at 140. Now he go to 147. Oh my God, he won a title at 147. But he beat the same kind of dude, like a little flat-footed dude who just a big puncher. Like
Yeah.
these, when you talk about Lomachenko, that's a puzzle. Like that that's something you gotta think. That's a chess match.
Rubik's Cube.
These dudes, yeah, these dudes right here, man, these just guys you gotta stay out the way and counter punch. That's it
Yep, that's
for the
why
most part.
MZ was like, I didn't like how Devin could make adjustments against Lomachenko. I say, man, this ain't Lomachenko though. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko on some other shit. Yeah, that's a Rubik's Cube, just like you said. Like, that's different. So just moving forward, man, when we have them guys that's going against your standard everyday fighter, we can't look back to the Rubik's Cube fights and hold that against them. Because that's not what's in front of them this time. This is more what you used to.
Here. I'll go with that. He said CC dropping CD dropping passes sounding like he a card carrying member of the BMF, Billups Mafia family.
Yeah. Ain't nobody worse than that basketball player though, the young one that was fixing them games and shit. This nigga here made he fucked off millions so he can make tens of thousands. That Terry Rozier, whatever his name is, man, he got to be the dumbest
What?
motherfucker that I've ever seen. You lose millions so you can make a few tens of thousands. Like, come on, bro. Make that make sense.
There's no way to make that make sense.
Hell no.
No way possible. Not even to a dumb person. He said, "You think Devin asked the Normans about his power after the fight?" I
Shit,
think they
Norman's probably
already.
asking Devin about their power.
Yeah.
It was non-existent. He had no power. He said, "I want to see Norman versus Rowley." When Paul Williams got
Yeah,
dominated
ask who dropped the documentary too. That was the Kane that dropped the documentary. On
on his channel.
I don't. It was on his channel. I'm trying to think how to describe the video. Though, how would you describe it, Kane?
Well, it's called the Black Political Paradox. It's just about how Black people don't really have no political home that really address their needs. Touched on Darren Seals speaking out against Black Lives Matter, how they did a bait and switch. Um, drawing people in through the deaths of Black men, but then they want to switch to some other LGBTQ type of shit. Just
Yeah.
talking about how they assassinate all our true voices, Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, again, Darren Seals, etc. Shit like that.
Yeah. I had actually never heard of the Darren Seals guy until I watched that video, to be honest with you. But yeah,
Man,
I
I'm
learned
getting
some
that
shit.
from a lot of people, bro. Like I'm glad I put that out there because I didn't realize that like so many people didn't know who he was or what happened to him and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing you put that mug out. I appreciate it. It's a good teaching tool.
I ain't
So
even know who Fred
For sure,
Hampton
for sure.
was until we had that conversation on Saturday. I'm like, man, I don't know
Right.
shit about black topics, man. But you know, that's why it's good to have a brother like the Kane around. You know what I'm saying? Go put you down.
Here,
Yeah, I
here.
got a lot of more documentary ideas in the works too, man. So y'all stay
Yeah,
tuned.
yeah, I'll be through there.
V for show. Lost to Quillen. He came back more focused, better, and determined. I picked up where I left off. I also said the Dev could win with his jab alone. That's Napoleon. I bet against Dev because he been looking shell shocked and running. Oh, you lost money.
Now, when the fight first got announced, everybody jumped on Norman, including me. And Napoleon was one of the ones that was like, nah, I really think Devin got action at going out there and now boxing the motherfucker. So I was actually very surprised when he had changed to Brian Norman Jr. And then that's one of the reasons why I kind of changed too. Y'all know I'm weak as a motherfucker. I'm sitting up here like, man, I got my 4.5 partner Kane taking this guy. I got my 4.5 in first place right now, competing for a 5 partner Napoleon taking Brian Norman Jr. I got my upgraded partner, old school OG MZ, went from a point 0.5 up to a 3. Had a good season and shit. He taking Brian Norman Jr. I'm the only motherfucker on the island, and I can't forget about my boy Yasser, a motherfucking 5. Should be a bona fide 5. He taking Norman. I'm like, man, I might be just wrong about this, man. I got respect for the people around me and the people's opinions around me. And y'all got the credentials behind y'all. I'm like, man, I might just be tripping, man. Let me go ahead and get in line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we led you astray. Sorry about that.
No, I don't look at it like that, but I just respect y'all opinions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It said Devin looked as if he, I don't know, should be feasted on advantages at 135 that seem not to be there in some fights over 135. But I get Trey's point.
Yeah.
ATL is a hotbed for Diddy parties and hair shows, not boxing. This boy is in there. Of course, I'm not saying Norman is just a Paul Williams. Just saying most fighters can learn from Paul on how to bounce back after that first embarrassing loss.
Yeah, I think you're talking about against Quintana too. I don't know what you called. You might say Quentin or something. What'd you say?
That's I think I see. Oh, it's Quintana.
Yeah.
I did say Quentin, but let me see. I'm going back up.
Yeah, I think you forgot to put the A on there. So it ain't on you. It's on D-Lo for not putting the A at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say I could have swore it didn't have an A at the end. Say,
No,
okay, I saw that. I screwed up getting the top 3 finish picking against Devin. Oh,
yeah, I would have had a much better finish. I fucked off 20 points picking Brian Norman Jr. That was 10 points for the decision for Devin and 10 points for the picked all correctly. That would have had me up there pretty good.
man. He said the footage I saw Dev whoop tanking sparring. Did I miss something? That's from Napoleon Armstrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way people interpreting what they saw. Because it's like, okay, Devin had the steady performance, but Tank had the highlights. So like he was catching Devin with hard shots. Adrian Broner jump in the ring and shit, trying to break it up and all that kind of stuff. But when they went back to work, Tank was tired and Devin was in shape, and he just, he was fighting. And he left with the money, if I'm not mistaken, because they had a bet on the sparring session, and Devin left with the money. You know what I'm saying? So some people looking at the highlights from Tank, and some people like you are looking at the steady performance from Devin and the final results of him winning and leaving with the money. You know what I'm
Yep. He made GTD quit, just like Lamont Roach did. You're right.
saying?
But leaving with the money do speak in volumes.
It do. They
Lenore,
basically had they had a little smoker almost. And Devin left with the funds.
I don't know what we're speaking to Lenore is about. Gordon never threw a shot with ill intentions.
I think he's saying Brian Norman Never threw a shot with ill intentions.
He couldn't get it. Wait, I think he threw a couple of them that was ill intended, but he threw way too far out. He threw one punch and I was like, even I saw that coming.
Yeah, it's like the Kane said, he was just Devin was just out of range. And then when Norman did get in close, he got too close and smothered his work. That's why I think the commentators was comparing him to Sean Porter. Excuse me. And some people were saying, man, the commentators don't know shit about boxing. They comparing this man to Sean Porter. But I kind of understood it because Sean Porter, when he get in close, he smothered his work a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed
I
like
was
Brian
thinking that
Norman just.
watching the fight.
What'd you say,
Yeah.
bro?
I said I was thinking that same thing while we were watching the fight. How you smothering his work. That was reminding me of Sean Porter.
Yeah, he's like he was just a little bit too far at the mid range, or he was in too close to smothering his own work. It would have did good if he would have got in close and took a little half a step back and gave himself some room to punch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did smother himself. D-Lo laughing at the garden. That's what he put. I would check it out. That is what he put. I saw. Hold up, because I know that didn't say no damn Norman.
Yeah, I
No,
had
you
just
right. It
put.
did say guard.
Yeah, I just used the context clues. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. He said he'd check it out. Fred Hampton was a youngster with tons of emotion, to use today's terminology. Tons of it. I sent it to Discord. I admit Norman was was an emotional pick. Being I'm a GA boy, my bad.
Players fuck up too, man. It's all good. Just like I picked Earl Spence and I knew better. This motherfucker been losing to southpaws and the amateurs. Sarek Sepiev, Andre Zamkovoy, he having trouble with southpaws in the pros. That little African, I can't never remember his name, that dropped him early in his career. He fought against Chris Van Heerden that go left-handed and right-handed. Whenever he went right-handed in the 5th and the 6th rounds, he stepped too early and backed him up and put some shots on him and shit. So I seen the evidence. I just went against it. I rolled with the Texas boy and all that. Oh, we gonna smoke Bud. We smoke Bud in Texas and all that shit. So it happened to the best of us, bro. It's all good. Went out there and got his ass toe off the motherfucking frame.
It's good. You can go. You know you don't even have to dwell on that no more. You can just let it go now. You can you don't even have to worry about that no more. You've broken yourself from it.
Hey, we all some historians, man. We gonna keep the history in check. We ain't gonna have no revisionist history, bro. It just is what it is. How
Yeah,
can we get better if we trying to sweep shit under the rug? You know what I'm saying? We got to confront what happened, improve, and then keep it moving. And that's what I'm trying to do: improve and keep it moving.
Now ain't no way to sweep that ass whooping up under the rug. It'll just be a big ass lump.
Hey, salute to my boy Bam, though. He went out there and handled his business. He made the guy look. I mean, the dude was fighting back, though. Don't get me wrong. Early in the fight, they might have been gassing Bam a little bit because the guy was landing some punches. He was throwing that overhand right and throwing all this weird looking shit. And a lot of that shit was landing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, my guy got a consistent style. He can make adjustments. He a cerebral fighter. And he kept on putting that pressure on that motherfucker, but his pressure with a lot of intelligence behind it. And he made him break. And he got him out of there. He went out there and stopped a 4. That's not easy, especially a 4 that's been getting some motion, going around the world fighting motherfuckers, fighting for championships and all this kind of stuff. Came in with a lot of confidence, but he went out there and got his ass stopped fucking around with Bam Rodriguez, man. So salute to Bam.
Bam put him on his back.
Counter left hand. It was pretty too. It real smooth.
Yeah, it was.
Angles he was fighting with that. Man, that's the dude.
It
He
was
was
like
just
that
going
counter
back.
left.
Yeah, it was counter left hand he hit him with. It
Yeah, it
didn't
was
even look
like
like
that
he
counter
threw it
left
hard.
that it was like that counter left that Bud hit Canelo with, except old buddy and roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was smooth. It was pretty. It didn't even look like he put no oomph behind it. It looked like he just, you know what I'm saying, just came with it, motherfucker, real smooth and dropped it.
Right on the button.
And it almost
Right.
felt like I think his opponent could have got up, but it just seemed like he was just overwhelmed with the situation. I think he decided to stay down.
It looked like it, huh? It looked like he was like, "That's enough.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you counting for.
Hey,
This
the
shit
check
done."
done clear, man. Yeah, the check done clear, man. Let's roll out. Leave this motherfucker alone. Shit, he fighting up in this bitch.
He started sitting up. He got himself comfortable enough. The referee came over. He's like, "You want to continue? Hell no.
Yeah.
And if you try to get me up, I'm gonna punch you. You better call this mug off right now while I'm sitting down on my bottom."
Yeah, one of the surprises of the night though was Sam Noakes' toughness. You can hit
Man,
that motherfucker with a baseball bat and he might not go down. That is a tough motherfucker right there, man. He was taking body shots. A lot of the time, the body shots be the difference between a knockout or not. And he taking head shots, body shots, high work rate, hands, and he was still there, man, and punching back, not just surviving. Like he off in there trying to come back with something. Abdullah Mason ended the fight and had not subsided head and shit. So you know that he was getting touched with some shots. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta respect Sam Noakes. That was a good test for Abdullah Mason. I think one of the rare times he done went the distance. That was a good developmental fight for him. And he also, I think he won his first championship. So
yeah.
salute to the Masons.
He the youngest right now in boxing. He the youngest champion.
We about
Took that.
20 or 21.
I think he.
Hyphy
I
know
want to
how old
say
that motherfucker. How old is he, Hyphy?
he might be just turned 20, didn't he?
Hey, wasn't Devin the youngest champion in boxing at one time?
At one
Yeah.
time he was, but now it's Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Mason's doing his thing. He doing his thing. I like their family. They're not overbearing, quiet, humble. Seems to be humble, and just doing their thing.
I would love to see Mason against Keyshawn.
Yeah.
I heard him talk about that. He was mentioning about how Keyshawn had just called him out on the stage out of nowhere. But he said,
Keyshawn
he
fucked that boy.
damn, just like that.
What'd you say, bro?
Like that. I said Keyshawn fucked that boy up.
I think he'll fuck him up too.
I don't think he want them problems.
Yeah, I think Keyshawn will fuck him up, bro. But I would like to see the fight. 'Cause I know Mason gonna fight. He gonna throw them hoes. That'll be a good fight for the fans.
Yeah. Definitely gonna fight.
Huh. I don't know.
You think Abdullah whoop Keyshawn?
I don't know about him getting fucked up. I think that'd be a good fight. I think it'd be a good fight. I see Keyshawn being smart as shit. Might as well attack this upcomer now before he start getting too seasoned and be a problem later down the road for me. Let me get him out the way early. That would be smart thinking. But I think it would be a good fight.
Yeah, see, but it could go both ways though, because Mason always say he'll beat your ass fighter. So he getting wins, but if the competition stay high, they gonna be knocking some tread off the tires a little bit, man. Because you can punch him, you can hit him. So he will be getting seasoning, he'll be getting better, but at the same time, he gonna be taking more punishment too. He's not a hit and not hit you and not get hit type of guy. He a rumble motherfucker. He want to get up in there and sprinkle shots on you. And one thing that stood out to me is that it seemed like they had a game plan. It looked like they wanted to box Noakes. But then Noakes landed a few punches and it looked like Mason got mad. And he just threw all that shit out the window. I'm stepping to this motherfucker. I'm putting hands on him. That's what's about to take place. So I think at the very top, I think he needs the ability to stick to the game plan. If a dude catch you with some shots, don't get mad. Don't get emotional. Stick to the game plan. You know what I'm saying? And make the fight easy. Because I know that you being more entertaining, you're being electrifying, you're giving us fans what we want, but that shit can blow up on you against the wrong guy. You get mad and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's never a good thing. Well, for somebody, sometimes it ends up being good, but most of the times not. He said GTD Eagles got the draws on Martin. Now it means the same for Tank. Tank 2, I guess.
You know what I think? You know who I think would be a good fight for Abdullah Mason if Frank Martin was still at 135.
Yeah, that'd be a
That'd
good
be a
fight.
great fight.
Yeah,
Cause Frank Martin would get mad on your ass too, like he
yeah,
did against was the Albertunian.
yeah. Yeah, if he got mad in that fight, threw the game plan out the window and just went to fight, that would be a
That
good
shit
fight.
worked for him.
Abdullah Mason versus Pitbull Cruz, if he was still at 135, would have been a good fight, a good developmental fight, and all that shit too. I would have liked that one.
Well, they keep talking about him versus Schofield. I think that'd be a great fight.
Yeah, that'd be a good one too. Where Abdullah Mason from?
And I don't even know. Gotta ask your boy Hyphen. That's his fighter.
I almost
I
want to
always
say
said that was my young fighter too. So I know he didn't come out this fight unscathed, but I ain't gonna just throw him to the wolves. That's still my young fighter. You know what I'm saying?
I give him good marks for being able
Schofield, my
to
guy.
deal with a tough guy like Noakes, to stand to be able to withstand what he was bringing in the fight. He said,
Boss
"I'm
Rich
in
said he from
yard."
Ohio.
Oh, he from Ohio. So I got
Yeah.
Ohio versus
Me
Texas with him and Schofield. Ohio versus Texas. I don't know about that. I'm not high on Schofield though, bro. That's one fighter that I do not believe in. I hate to say, I know he did what he did against Tevin Farm. You know what I'm saying? But man, I saw this dude go life and death with Renee Tellez Hiron. I'll be seeing fighters go out there and outbox the fuck out of Hiron, no problem. There's only been one guy. He did knock out an Olympian. His name was Carlos Balderas. He came up with Shakur Stevenson, and he got caught with a left hook. He was winning the fight. He was winning every round, but Hiron hit him with a left hook and knocked him out. But all them other guys, they be outboxing the shit out of Hiron. And Floyd Schofield going life and death with Hiron. I just thought that was an indictment, bro.
But they've been taking time, I guess, to correct whatever flaws. And the fight against Tevin Farmer was a fast fight. He got Farmer out of there quick. He
That dude,
haven't been getting the rounds in to see if he a gas, if something changed up, how would he be able to react? How would he react to it? We haven't seen enough of that from him. He's exciting because he's explosive. He's explosive. I'll give him that. But we haven't seen enough of him to see what he looks like in the latter rounds of a fight.
and that's something that
Who
I
that?
wanted to see
Talking
with
about,
Abdullah Mason. I think he's talking about
you
Schofield,
talking
right?
about yeah,
Schofield?
Schofield went the distance before. He went the distance before.
Yeah, he went the distance against Hiron. You know what I'm saying? But he to me, he just looked like a better athlete than fighter. I don't know if I see like a greatly schooled fighter. You know what I'm saying? But Abdullah Mason, though, I did want to see him go late because all his punches are each like everything is just hard and fast as he can. And I did see him taper off a little bit later on in the fight. And like he would start off rounds very strong, and then towards the end of the round, that's when Sam Noakes was able to get some good work out. So to me, that's telling me that them fast twitch punches that you throw in every punch, that shit catching up to you later on in the fight. And before the fight even took place, that's what I was saying. I said I want to see this guy go late, and I want to see how he looking. And I saw vulnerability, and that's what got me thinking that Keyshawn, I think he can pace himself a little bit better. I think he got a little bit more nuance in the way that he throw his punches and stuff than Abdullah Mason, and that's what got me thinking he can drag him into deep waters and then drown him.
Oh, well, that's something that they must add to the learning curve if it's a problem. He's gonna have to learn how to be a little more economical until he can stretch that gas tank out. He's young enough to do that. When you're young, you can do stuff like that, stretch out the gas tank. He said, "I'm in yard."
They actually don't look bad. I just think he need a little change up. He throwing all fastballs. Let's throw some knuckleballs and some curveballs and you know the change up on the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because
But
really,
everything don't
like
have to be hard.
I just said this before, you can get in the ring with a guy that's hitting hard, right? But after a while, you will kind of get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Even though this dude throwing missiles, but you'll get used to it a little bit. Like you'll get used to the impact. Now, if he change it up where he got some that's a little bit softer and some that's a little bit harder, I think that's harder to acclimate to, and you'll knock a motherfucker out. But like Sam Noakes, he taking these hard shots. But to me, at the while, it looked like he was kind of getting used to this shit. And then at the same time, when we got later on in the fight, the punches didn't have the same steam because he left a lot of that in the first round. Now he didn't look tired like he was huffing and puffing and all that kind of shit. I think he might have had his mouth open though. That wasn't a good sign. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to see him with a change up. I think that'll take him from being like A- level fighter, B+ type of fighter. I think that'll move him up a little bit.
We have to wait and see. In the fight, though, I did notice a point where his offense kind of shut down, and Noakes got to take advantage of about, I say, a good 5 seconds of one of those rounds. I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, dang, Abdullah, like he was laboring at some point at that time. But he changed it around.
Seconds.
Yeah, about 5 seconds. You know, seconds, it seemed like a long time, but it don't really be that long. I don't want to say some big number, and you'd be like, man, that wasn't but a glimpse. He said, I mean, Yard never threw a shot with ill intention.
Okay, that makes sense.
He said his phone spelling
I
phone.
get it. Yard Garden. Okay.
Yeah. I'm tripping. I should have put that together.
He said, man said Anthony ain't no Yard in him. Henceforth, it's Anthony Guard until proven otherwise. Wow. Well, like I said earlier, maybe. But go ahead.
Gardens produced something, so we can't call him that. He wasn't producing that.
Nothing. He just seemed like he couldn't pull the trigger. Maybe David was just too fast for him. Too many punches coming all the time.
He a what if story to me, man. I think what if Yard would have started when he was 8 instead of in his 20s? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah, I think he could have been a pretty good fighter. Maybe he wouldn't have had so much muscle and shit, and the gas tank would a little bit better. I think he would have the experience to have the type of style that he has. And I think he would have been better, man. You know, he's just a what if story.
Well, I guess that's better than not a story.
Yeah, he an overachiever. He done been successful relatively. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he got a good lifestyle off of boxing. So I salute him. He a natural. You know, he's just behind the 8 ball when it comes to them other guys that's been fighting since they were little kids. And those are the people that's whooping him.
The ones that got years and years of experience, muscle memory out the butt.
I mean, that's something though. Like the only ones he get beat by is the top.
Yeah, besides Lyndon Arthur.
Except for Lyndon Arthur.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize he had a trilogy with that dude till you said that.
Yeah, he had a trilogy with
had 2 fights.
Yeah.
A series. I never heard it put like that.
Yeah,
he said, I gave you more credit to get more credit than to get stopped, but Bam got him out of there. Yeah, Bam put his ass to sleep. Well, he didn't put him to sleep, but he made him not want to get up. The man said, I am not getting up.
Yeah.
He said, it was a lot of headbutts in the Mason fight.
Well, that's Southpaw versus Orthodox, though, right? So that can be expected. But you got to be able to navigate that shit. How many head clashes do we see from Shakur Stevenson? How many head clashes do we see from Terrence Crawford? It's very rare that it takes place. You know what I'm saying? So that's just part of having experience in the ring. You got to know how to navigate that shit.
And those was pushing the issue and pushing the fight. He was trying to keep in what's his name? Mason's chest, in my opinion, in some points. He was just trying to get where he can put some work in and work hard. I give Mason his props. You know, I ain't saying he no A+ fighter or nothing like that yet, but I think his ceiling is high where he can go ahead and handle something.
At the very least, he gonna give us good fights. He's worth watching.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Napoleon said he's 21.
Crazy about Arturo Gatti and them. You know, we could definitely big up some Abdullah Mason.
Yeah,
for sure. He said
Yeah,
Mason
bro.
21.
Yeah, I looked it up. He 21. He just turned 21 in April, I think.
Oh, he shared a month with my wife. He said, I think that fight is too early for Mason. It's good for him that Keyshawn is at 140 now.
Yeah. Yeah, he turned 21 April the 5th.
He said Mason is like Xander now, has picked up a strap, so it's a big game hunting from here on out. Has to level up. Well, maybe he gonna get this 10% of juice. Now that he a champion, maybe he gonna get that 10% better, and we'll start seeing some stuff. It's 10%, right?
Yeah, I will always say 10. We can't just put a definite number on it, but I do see fighters once they get that belt, they believe. Like they believe I belong here. And they get a little better, whether it's 10%, 5%, 20%. I don't know. But
We gonna put the 10% stamp on there. We gonna use the number because we hear somebody else saying it, goddamn.
yeah. Well, I ain't the first person to say that. I have heard I think Max Kellerman might have been the first person I heard say that. So I give credit where it's due.
I always heard 20% better, but yeah. Y'all
Okay.
stick with the 10. So if we hit 10, we'll know it. They got it from y'all.
Yeah.
Cleveland Mason outclassed Schofield in sparring. Footage on YouTube.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
He said they better not let Haney versus Ben marinate. Tired of Ben's mouth already. Yeah, he is a cocky dude. Wait, say what?
He said he don't want to fight Haney because his style boring.
He been talking shit on online though. He said when he see Devin, if he talk that shit, he said I'll iron your ass right out right then.
Damn.
That's what he told him. He said, you'll get your ass
on
ironed
site,
right
huh?
out.
Wow. That's crazy. Because, yeah, that's crazy. Not iron your ass. I ain't never even heard it put like that.
It sounds like some UK shit, but I felt it though. He gonna have
I feel it too.
flat.
Shit, I feel it too. I get the message.
Yeah, he gonna flatten your ass is what it sounded like to me. But he coming off a big win and shit. He full of piss and vinegar, feeling good about himself. He said he ready to take the piss out of any Yank bumping his gums.
I hear you.
You know how they talk, you take the piss out the Yanks. Yeah, so he feeling good, boy.
Yeah, he didn't put Eubank down. That's the family feud.
Yeah, that's the Hatfield versus the McCoys in boxing.
And beat him good. Put him down.
And won every round, basically. Made it look easy. So he feeling good about himself.
Hey, was Bomac still coaching Eubank?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, but I just thought it was wrong place at the wrong time for Eubank. That's why I went on ahead and picked Ben. Because Ben was tagging him in the first fight. It's just that Eubank, he just was determined to win the fight. He withstood through the storm. He came back with something and got the win. But I did not forget about them shots he was taking. So I say, okay, now we going back in again. Ben, he got some familiarity with this shit now. He the smaller guy, so he's still strong because he going up to 160. Eubank is still the weakened guy. He might be even weaker than he was the first time. So even though he had Bomac, I just didn't think it was going to be enough.
Damn. He went out there and did his thing. Moody Trayweather slid in. He say salute.
See, but this is the thing, though. I guarantee if Conor Ben fight him, he going to fight harder than Brian Norman, though. I would give him a better chance to win the fight. Yeah, because he don't know nothing but to get up in there and fight. And he got that moxie. He got that personality. I just think he gonna get up in there. Like he ain't trying to hurt none of that other shit. Yeah, he gonna jump on you. That'd be a good fight. Because he gonna make him fight.
Yeah. You gotta do that with Devin, man.
Yeah.
He said Napoleon Armstrong said, "Good time for Pop Mason to bring in a defensive specialist. Help get his son tightened up. You're gonna be in there trying to well, getting mad is problem a part of the problem. They got to fix that. If he letting himself get mad, they got to fix that. Being a defensive specialist, that'll go out the window too. If he get mad, he gonna resort. They got to break that.
Yeah, you need to learn how to woosah, man. We need some feng shui or something. This motherfucker need to calm down. Don't be getting mad when the dude hit you with a shot, man, and get you off the game plan. Now, I understand, like, motherfucker might catch you with some shot. It might make you tighten up, you know what I'm saying, and intensify what you're doing. But don't get mad and just throw the whole game plan out the window. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think he needs. But at
That
the
would be
same
smart.
time, it's the nature of beat your ass fighters to get hit sometimes too, though. From this guy, Abdullah Mason, Boots Ennis, and I talked about Sugar Ray Robinson. You could hit him. That's one reason why Floyd Mayweather Sr. was saying, I prefer my son over Sugar Ray Robinson. He said, man, I love Sugar Ray Robinson. I didn't painted pictures of Sugar Ray Robinson. But he took a lot of punches. And that's just the nature of beat your ass fighters, man. Them dudes that trying to get you up out of there. Sugar Ray Robinson, he in the 100 knockout club. He is not there to play with you, man. He trying to get you up out of there. And that's going to leave him susceptible to receiving shots sometimes.
He said, I put Mason versus, he put the Mason versus Mason versus Schofield in the Discord. I'm going to look at it later.
When you put it in there just now?
I guess so.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out then.
Yeah, it's a sparring session.
Yeah.
Schofield.
Yeah,
I've seen that before.
Being on that BS for real. Iron you out equal get some straightening. Yeah, both of them sound good.
We're going to get some straightening in there, huh, man?
Moody say Eubanks is Eubanks also having them kids. He was talking soft in interviews. I wonder if the first fight was was Eubanks' last great night. Signs were there, but I rolled with him in the rematch per my usual stance on most rematches.
Hey, Ken, you ever heard of a lady named Viola Mother Fletcher?
The name sound familiar.
Is that the lady? No, is that the lady that they made the medicine off of?
I just read that Viola Mother Fletcher, the oldest known living survivor of the Tulsa Race Massacre, has passed away at the age. Yeah, she just passed away 111.
Wow.
Yeah. I read that earlier today, actually.
Yeah. 111.
111.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Rest in power.
That's 9 years short of what I'm trying to reach.
They just held off on giving them any kind of reparations or anything for that.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Yeah, you're right, D-Lo. I was thinking of hearing yet, not. But shoot, still 100.
Think about Henrietta.
The lady that they made the medicine off of, that they sold her, they were selling. Her family, maybe like, I guess maybe about 10 years, 12 years ago, they were making noise about it, and they was trying to get those wrongs corrected against their family with the government and stuff. I don't know how it turned out.
Yeah.
Hey, salute to Moody Trey, whether we ain't said it to you already, man.
I did mention he was in here, but I think y'all missed it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have come to a tightening of what we was talking about, because it seemed like we're getting a little silent. And I do got to be moving around early in the morning. But I'm glad to be able to spend some time with y'all tonight. And y'all came through and kicked. I'm talking about Hyphy, Decay, and Trey X. I don't know what happened except for the fact that I was wrong in the mug with Haney. He did his thing, though. I got to shake my hat to him. But y'all want to say anything?
We was all wrong
We all had
collectively,
to
man.
come. Yeah, we all had to come eat this crow with you.
Yeah. I came to eat my crow too, shit, because I picked against him on the Channel Ross. You know what I'm saying? But we got 17 fights on the Channel Ross this week. I need my boy Napoleon Armstrong to put his foot in the dirt and cut up field on these motherfuckers. Go get that championship. 17 fights is a week that you can create a schism or a chasm or whatever I'm supposed to say in between you and the rest of the competition. So go out there and get that shit done this week. It's some decent fights, but I didn't see a fight that just really stood out to me as like the fight of the week or nothing like that. But it's multiple decent fights that's worth watching and shit. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be on the lookout for that this week. Appreciate you letting me get on the panel, OG, like always. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my niggas, Hyphy, the Kane, everybody off in the chat, D-Lo, Napoleon, Moody, Trey, Weather, Eric, R, everybody, man. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. And check out the Kane documentary too. You know what I'm saying? We'll be looking out for future projects. Yeah, I'm gone.
Appreciate that, bro.
Got something you want to say, my boy, Decay?
Hey man, like always, appreciate you letting me get on the panel. Y'all check out the Perpetual Learners and Creators Association channel. Got the Black History got the not Black History, got the Black Political Paradox documentary out now. Got more documentaries to come. And I'm out.
Man, if you don't go over there and check that out, you ain't trying to make yourself smart. I'm telling you. As the products come out, y'all should go over there and check it out, man. Don't let those projects just sit over there. Go check them out. Tell a friend, especially if they trying to get into something. Hyphy to burn out on me. Say Frank Sanchez versus Big Baby Anderson is supposedly official for the IBF Eliminator. Daniel Dubois pulled out. Wow. Trey Weather, salute to y'all. I hate I missed the live. Man, I hate that you got in here late too, but my schedule is crazy. Actually, it's gonna change. Tomorrow, I get a whole different schedule for about 14 days. I'll try to keep y'all posted if the live's gonna still be doing the same thing. I'm pretty sure they will be because I think they were saying that Tuesday might be the day off. It might be Wednesday. So either way, even I'll be able to still do it Tuesday. So with that being said, I'm gonna say peace and blessings to each and one. Appreciate that, D-Lo. Y'all know how I do. I'll leave y'all with something to jam to as I step in the back. About to find something in a minute. Oh, here we go. I ended how I came in. Peace, y'all.
Coming out the trench.
Dolo, Big Ben, El Dolo on the beat. That's somebody. Yeah. Hopping out the 2-4, C7 Weezy. This shit really hard, I just make it look easy. My game slow fishing, float like a butterfly, stretch like inches. I hear a lot of talk, but ain't too many from the trenches. Hard step hard, lost 69, swole up. Them hoes used to pass me by, now they like, hold up. Truck black wax, look like a bag of fruit oil. Texas edition leather, remember you a 2-star. Shit, I got 2 cars that I ain't even drove yet. You might use one, come through and spray your whole set. No bet, so be taking on the way out. I'ma win either way, so I'ma let it play out. Don't bring them K's out, let them hoes blaze out. If you really real, go and close them niggas' days out. You can't sit back and let it linger, cause if you do my ninja, they gon' snatch you like a zinger.
Coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trenches.
Better get their ass some bread if they claiming they can't see. They don't really need their eyes when they focusing on them Z. Blow a blunt and sip a fifth about it. Have them straight up sick about it. Sitting on the throne waiting for them to come click about it. Treat them like the ashes on the blunt, gon' flick them out. He wanted to go hard to come through and straight trick them out it. Pistol talking, damn Z, gon' make me handy. They talking too much, please let me show them they some pansies. Raised by some killers, so killer talk don't move me. Just saying, then squeeze a new scene from a movie. Make their brains hang from the things that I will bring. Started at the bottom, now I'm standing on the top, man. Coming out the trench, coming out the trenches. Coming out the trench, coming out the trench. They said, MZ, take another lap. I'm like, okay, let's go. When everything is going right, expect a quick left, bro. I've seen a lot of souls get sold before the cash roll. I tried to warn them about it, but they always tell me hush, bro. It seems they forgot. Yeah, I moved in them streets. Yeah, I stood on the cuts, and I always had heat. And I stood up in the kitchen, whipped it up so I can change. When I went away to college to put an edge on this thing.
Seen it, Big Ben. Oh, El Nolo on the beat. Oh, stainless steel dominoes, you know I'm about to lay it down. IT got that rapper beat, it's only right we blaze a pound. I keep my haters close and my enemies on speed dial. Bitch niggas run them up, but yet it's still I gotta feed y'all. I'm first at the table, but the last to eat. SOP, fuck bitch, I get the largest piece. Any shorts coming down the line, we ain't having it. If you can't handle up on your business, then we'll manage it. You know what that mean? We bout to beat the brakes off your motherfucking ass. 5 shots to make them take off. Bake off, I keep them cakes like Lil Deborah. Laying up and pillow talking, oh, that's just irregular. That's how you get a whole dub for your madre and an oil drum. Feel to the brim with your padre. Thought a valiant fight but fell short on his last test. The only thing that nigga got free was his last breath.
Better tell him don't freeze now. I'm playing chess, come through and knock the queen down. Screwed up in Houston, so I sipped a little lean. Wow, meanwhile my comp is missing like they name is June Tile. Heaven on earth, I got some angels when the demons round. 100 round drunk will have them holy when they hit the ground. Squeeze them like a python until they can't make a sound. Show up to the service just to make sure that he in the ground. It's over now? Nah, he got some partners that was talking loud. Plus he got some brothers that I'm sure gonna try to move the crowd. Squeeze them out, so I can show them this ain't PG. I love to see them agonizing just because they hate me.
Real player shit's legit, no skid. Queso with the chips, I dip from whole shit. Preferably somewhere chilling by oceans. Drink with the umbrella in it, smoking. Some valid shit on in the zone, post it. Do say to the face, no chase, roast it. Relentlessly representing, really it's no shit. Cold shit, I hit a lick off the bitch for 4 bricks, then dip.
They on to me, 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 they on to me. I speak Benavidez, so let me go and make it clear. If you ain't part of the family, you can go and put your plate up. And I don't wear a cape, no, I ain't Captain Saber. Unless she down to help a player go and stack some paper. I keep me a heater, in case these haters try to flex it. Once I put my finger in her, she start busting like Tourette's. I see you picking, that's the word I'm playing. Well, I ain't changed.